Hello friends, it's a Friday, so don't mind me. We're gonna talk about something that I typically have dismissed for the last half decade, but as my experience of time has gone on, I've come to appreciate it a lot more, so I hope it can help you as well. So today I've been considering the thought that most of our achievements and actions in life are usually limited by our own self-imposed limitations. You could call them limiting beliefs, and I'm avoiding using the word mindset because I've typically dismissed that in like the entrepreneurial and personal development spaces. One of those buzzwords where it's like, yeah, it's all about mindset. And I would always say, well, yeah, that's all good and well, but if I think about money, it's not like money is going to magically appear because, thoughts without action, that's not going to do anything for me or anyone else. And to a degree, that's correct. But really what I'm talking about is the limiting beliefs where you go, I just can't do that because it's not a thing that I can do. And you're making a binary yes or no statement about your achievement of something rather than considering as more of a sliding scale. And I'll explain that in a bit. But a really good example of limiting beliefs is the 4-minute mile. Now, if I'm remembering the story correctly, decades ago, they thought that running a mile in 4 minutes would literally make your heart explode in your chest. And so really no one tried it until one fucking lunatic came along and did a 4-minute mile. And because he did it, that smashed everyone's limiting beliefs around a 4-minute mile, and person after person after person just kept doing 4-minute miles. And I think the concept of mindset is paired really well with personal identity. So with time, more particularly recently, I've become more and more aware of the identity that I place on myself and my own thoughts and how those influence the actions that I will or won't take. For example, it's really common for me to say, I'm just not someone that has a whole lot of empathy or emotional intelligence. But by merely making that statement, I'm already essentially creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where I'm just always going to behave like that, rather than accepting it as something that I can from time to time be good at it and I can from time to time not be good at it. But I'm already limiting myself by creating this binary statement of I'm not good at it, I'm always not good at it. I also get a little bit concerned and worried when I see this in other people, either like friends or I just see it online, and they just create statements and place labels on themselves which don't serve them. And I have to be careful of how I word this because this might offend some people, and that's not my intention with this video. But I do get worried when people, whether they're friends or not, make statements about themselves that don't serve them, and making statements like, I suffer from this. And whilst it may be true to a degree, the conscious act of labeling yourself with that and identifying yourself as that doesn't serve you and doesn't help with your own personal growth. Because if it's something that you don't like having, well, why would you like to attribute it to yourself? I think perhaps a better way to address it, and at least to start addressing it, is to stop making binary yes or no statements about things and rather address the scale of which you kind of, I suppose, do or don't have it. So rather than saying I can never stick to something, I can never stick to a routine, perhaps a better way to start addressing is I have a propensity to fall off routines from time to time. Because that's a statement where at least you're saying, sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit. Because that identity feature or attribute that you have isn't there 100% of the time. Let's take the diet, for example. If you say, I can never stick to a diet. Well, maybe there was one day where you did stick to your diet. So on that day, you were really good at it. But then you just fell off. But that's okay. Nobody's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. That's why they put erasers on the ends of pencils. That's at least going to serve you a little bit better. Because now, those are your thoughts which will influence your words, which will influence your actions. Now, like everything else, spotting your own limiting beliefs is a skill. You could start right now by just pondering the question, what's something I always tell myself or my friends that I'm not good at? Then just bring a little bit of conscious awareness to that statement whenever you make it and try to correct yourself. Anyway, I hope that you found this helpful. If you've been watching for this long, you could consider subscribing. The reason that I make these videos is because I've made more than my fair share of mistakes in my life, and I wouldn't like them to be in vain, so I'm sharing them with other people so that perhaps you don't need to make as many mistakes as I did. Or if you are already subscribed, consider sharing this with a friend that you think might find it useful. Have a nice day.